Whenever a user clicks on our map, we're putting a draft pin down in that area, but we also want, when a user submits a pin, to allow them to provide some related content about the location that they selected, for example, some text and an image of that area. And so to do that, we need to add a blog area right here to the right-hand side of our map. So to do that, we're going to head back to our map component, and we're going to import this blog component. So it's going to come from /blog. So we'll import blog, and then we'll head down to the very bottom of our component, and underneath React Map GL, we'll create a blog area to add pin content. And then we'll put in the blog component itself. So what we want for this blog area is that we want it to show different content based upon our state. Meaning if a user's not set down a pin, we're just going to show them some text saying, hey, go to the map and select somewhere so you can add a pin. Once they've selected an area, we'll display a few inputs so they can add a title to the pin as well as some text content and an image. And then finally, once they've posted the pin itself, we'll allow them to click on the pin and see all of the content that they added. So in other words, within our blog component, based upon our state, we're going to conditionally show one of three components, one of three views, and those views are going to come from this pin folder. You can see this folder contains the three components that I mentioned: no content for when a user's not set down a pin, create pin for when a user's selected a location on the map to allow them to add content, and then pin content for displaying the content of that user's pins or other users' pins. So let's head to blog.js, and the first thing that we're going to need to do is read from state. So we'll use context, we'll bring in use context. We will import context from /context. We will execute use context, and we'll get back our state. We'll destructure our state. Currently we only have one piece of state that we need to take a look at, and that is the draft piece of state, but there will be another, and that will represent whether a pin has been selected if a user's clicked on a pin that's already been created. But for now we're just going to use draft, and we'll say above the markup that we'll return, let blog content. So we want to declare a variable called blog content that we're going to reassign conditionally. For now, if there's no draft information in state, then we want to show no content. Else otherwise, if we do have draft state, if a user's set down their marker, set down a pin somewhere, we want to display the create pin component so they can add some information to the pin. So let's bring in the two components that we need for now. We'll import no content from /pin/no content, as well as create pin from /pin/create pin. So if there's no draft, we'll reassign blog content to no content, and if there is some draft state, we'll reassign blog content to create pin. And then we're going to use our one material UI component, paper. We're going to replace the div in our return with paper, and it's going to have a class name set to classes.root, and then between the paper tags we'll provide our blog content component. So let's save map.js and blog.js. And now we have a blog area on the right hand side. Since we don't have a draft pin, we see the component no content However, when we click on the map, we see the text create pin, meaning our create pin component is being displayed.